Okay. I'm just going ahead and then going with the slideshow. Okay. You guys hear me clearly, right? There's no problem in listening to me.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
We can hear.
Okay, sure. See, DevOps is a collaboration activity or a process in which uh, we make sure the communication and collaboration between development, IT operations, and quality assurance happens in a seamless manner. Uh, at a high level, if you want to really understand what is DevOps is, using different tools and some methodologies, we are making sure the connection between at least three different teams, right? Development, operations, and quality assurance teams are in synchronized with uh, every activity that people are doing inside. Be it working on a particular feature, be it deploying an application in a particular environment, being it testing a particular feature on an environment. See, when I say environment, it means for the developer, it is a development environment. For testing team, it's a dev testing team. It's a dev stage, pre-prod, like that. For the customer, it is production environment. For our testing, by testing team or maybe other performance testing team or by any other customer facing team, they will do it on the environments which is available locally within the company. Whereas the production is something which is accessed by customer, which requires some amount of filtration gateway before we deploy it in the production. You guys understand what is operations? What
Yes,
is operations? Okay, since you guys already worked on the operation side, you understand clearly the different activities that happens once a product is deployed into production. Say on a day-to-day basis, how the application is being accessed, what are the different parameters that we need to monitor, dashboards, different kind of alarms, different kind of incidents that is reported by customers, right?
right.
Okay. Any questions on the first slide before we move on to the next one?
No questions. So basically, IT operations part. So it is related to the deployment of customer environment, right?
Exactly. See, IT operations all about managing the environment. For example, system admin people will be there to create servers, right? They are also part of IT operations. There is a deployment team which is taking care of deploying a particular build into the system environment. They are also IT operations.
Okay.
For example, there is a tool that needs to be deployed for our testing, or there is a new tool that requires some amount of experiment. That is also done by operations team. Altogether, DevOps is a collaboration activity between three teams. So we will not have a separate team like development, IT operations, or quality assurance. So quality assurance also will be called QA DevOps. Development, for sure, there'll be a development team which knows how to deploy it in AWS cloud, how to deploy it in their own environment by creating an EC2 instance like that.
Okay.
Basically, a process which is defined to make sure same tool or similar tools are used across different SDLC phases. Okay. Here I have listed down some of the prerequisites. You guys know what is SDLC, right? I don't have to really define what is SDLC. It's about the different phases of software development while you are developing a product, starting from requirements, then design, then coding and testing and release, deployment, all of those things, correct?
Right. Right. Right.
One of the important tools that we'll be covering is Git. You have worked on Git, right?
Right. Right. No, no, we never worked on the
Um,
Git.
Okay, okay, definitely. I mean, we'll touch base Git. Have you worked on Jira?
Jira, I mean, we have not worked on that, but we use it for the information.
Okay. So basically, Jira is used for creating tickets, assigning tickets, tracking the process, right?
Right, right.
That is the actual starting point for DevOps because you cannot really send out an email and ask people to work on a particular task, right? You have to have a proper team structure. In that, you should have who is the manager, who is assigning the task, who is getting the task assigned, and how many days it will require to complete, what is the blocker that you have. So many things that you need to define. In that case, you require a tool called Jira or any other ticketing tool that you can use it. I'm just closing this particular share. I mean, slideshow, and then I'll add Jira as a tool first. So Jira is one of the must or important tool for ticket management. It is like assigning a ticket, tracking the progress, comments, which is blocking you from running, uh, carrying out that particular activity. Any questions on Jira?
No.
no.
Okay. So now we are moving on to the actual phase of coding and development based on whatever features that is going to be developed. So what is the tool that is used for coding and development? Usually it is a Git.
Yes.
Most of the
Okay.
companies use GitHub as a repository, repo, or GitLab as a repository, or maybe Bitbucket, like that. Correct? Which one your company is using currently?
We are not in DevOps team, so don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe your development team, right? It is for across the organization. Your development team might be using GitHub or GitLab for sure.
Hmm.
So you are part of a generic team, is it? I mean, not part of a particular client.
No, no, we are into the generic team. We take care of the all Citrix client.
Okay. Okay.
Like whatever issues they are facing in their environment, production environment, we
Okay.
take the ticket regarding to that.
Okay. So I'll just have a quick uh,
So
profile.
basically, we don't have a prior experience or exposure to DevOps. This will be kind of new to us, and even we are looking for the career switch in a DevOps. So we do work with the DevOps engineers
Okay.
in our day-to-day life, but we don't have much exposure what exactly they do and what and all tools they are using.
Okay. No tools exposure. Correct.
No.
What are the different tools that you are exposed to as of now?
Like for monitoring, we have, as we are taking a Citrix environment, so for monitoring, we are using the Citrix Director and tools like a few other tools like for the tracing and everything, Citrix or Salesforce for ticketing we use.
Okay.
And internally, Jira, the ticket get created.
We
like
use it as a user. Jira, we use it just to track, or sometimes just to create a ticket.
Yeah, that is more than enough because see, Jira is a tool which is for ticketing. That's all. By the Scrum team, or the Scrum manager, ticket will be created, assigned. We are supposed to work on only just whatever tickets assigned to us.
Right.
So as a DevOps team,
So as a DevOps engineer, our first step will be like we will get some ticket from a Jira.
Jira ticket will be assigned. And we need to work on the tickets. Like say backlog to in progress, then say review, then say done. And you'll be adding comments to the ticket to show progress. This is a typical work life for a DevOps engineer. But sometimes you will not have a Jira. Then you have to do everything via mail communication or random meetings or daily stand-up. And they'll mostly use Excel sheet to update site. See, it happened for me for at least in 2 projects or 2 different companies. They used Excel sheet to assign the tickets. They just send out email for a particular task. Or randomly in the meeting, they'll say, okay, start working on this. Our developer will come and ask you, okay, create a particular environment. There is a problem in a particular environment. You have to fix it. So it all depends on the company. It is not necessarily that you will be using Jira always.
okay.
But one of the highlight in any company for now is Git. Without Git, you cannot have continuous integration or continuous deployment. So Git is a source for CI. So when I say CI, what does it mean? Any idea? Any clue from your side? Any guess from your side?
Command interface?
No, it's a continuous integration.
Okay.
What is continuous integration?
Like it might be running into the background automatically deploying something.
Okay. Okay. Your attempt is okay for decent enough. Sorry?
Okay, what I can understand, a continuous integration in the sense people will keep integrating the features and testing it.
Yes, exactly. So code is something which is developed by developer, correct? Or a program, you can say, correct? How the program will create a application. So how are we say initially developers start writing the code, right? It doesn't mean that it will be just directly it will be converted to an application, right? What happens? It has to be checked into the repository first, and then a build has to be created, and then the build will be deployed into the server. So we'll slowly see. If I cover everything today, it'll be difficult for you to understand. So continuous integration is all about picking up the changes, picking up the latest changes, and building a package. So at this level, you just try to understand what is continuous integration.
Adding a feature to the application.
Adding a feature to the
Continuously.
application by continuously picking up the changes, latest changes, and building a package and then deploy into the environment. This is called CD. That is continuous
Continuous.
deployment. So the main purpose of DevOps is all about two things. One is continuous integration and then continuous deployment. How do we achieve continuous integration and continuous deployment? Using different tools. I'll show you in the next 10-15 minutes what are the different CI/CD tools we use. So I'm moving on to build. What is build? It is nothing but a package.
Okay.
You might have heard about war file, jar file, or a package file. .iso image have you seen? .iso.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
.iso is basically a software OS image, right? Is it OS image, right? Similarly, you will have any particular application which is built, you will have a package like either a jar file, a war file, or a Docker image. So that is actually the build that is generated out of your binary, out of your source code. Then what happens is we deploy the product into the dev, test stage, and production environments. And you guys are aware of some of the basic commands of Linux?
Linux, I did not work on. I'm not sure about much.
Okay. How about you?
I know basic, but it has been a long time since I have used Linux.
Okay. So, Nadim, you said you have worked on it, right?
No, I have not.
You have not worked on it. Raj has worked on it. Okay. So probably it will be a little learning curve for you, for both of you. You have to learn some of the basic commands. I'll tell you exactly why it is required and what is the sole purpose of learning Linux commands.
Okay.
So do you have Git bash installed on your laptop by any chance?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So we'll do that in the next 5 to 10 minutes after we cover the basics. At least one of your system will install Git bash and then we can take it forward. You have understanding of what is virtualization?
Yeah, virtualization. I'm understanding.
Okay, you have the
Raj, I'm
Yep.
sure you will also have understanding of virtualization.
Yes.
Okay, that is good. What is hypervisor?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hypervisor is a software which actually divides your local system CPU, memory, hardware into smaller pieces, right? Okay. What is containerization?
It will create a container for like suppose we want for the storage, we want a different part to use for different applications, or maybe it can be related to the hardware part as well.
Okay.
I have no much idea related to this. So
okay. See, basically containerization is all about on top of the virtual machine, we thought about how to make it even more simpler and more consistent environment. That's why we created containers. Containers, we can say that it is a very lightweight operating system, which doesn't require dedicated kernel. It will use the kernel of your operating system or your virtual machine. So it is on top of your virtual machine. It is a lightweight and is a dedicated process which is running for you. Okay. One thing that I just wanted to clarify, when we say a server or an application, right? What exactly it means?
Sorry, can you just repeat it?
Say server or application or a service.
Okay, so
So
my understanding of a server is, it could be a server which is operating system running at the server, and whatever the application you deploy, it will be running on a server, and users basically access that applications.
It's basically like an operating system, which specifically a server operating system, which uses or resolve the purpose of serving a specific task in the
oh,
environment.
that's correct. So serving a specific task. Okay. Application or a service running on the machine or computer. So what is compute? It's a computer, right? Any
Yeah.
server,
Yeah.
any machine which can be accessed locally or via internet, that is called a machine or computer. It is kind of serving a specific task, right?
Right.
When we say task, what exactly it means?
It can be like accessing one specific application or require to access of a specific part of that application, like in case
Right, exactly. So it is nothing but a running service, right? What a service contains?
service is a like a bunch of coding which gives a way to another client machine, or suppose whosoever are trying to access that particular application on the server, that create a link to that how it is going to serve between these two endpoints.
Okay, say for example, um, um, I say that there is one service running on my machine. What exactly it is supposed to contain? It will be a port number, process ID, a protocol, right? And it will be occupying at least some space for logs, right? So at least, yep, process should contain a port number, a process ID, a protocol, and some space it will occupy, right? Without that, a process cannot run or a service cannot run. So, can a server run multiple processes?
Yes.
Yes, right? That say for example, it can run a HTTP service. It can run a HTTP service, say LDAP service, SH service, and maybe some database service. Right? You heard about all of these services, right?
Yes, sir.
At least
Yeah.
some of the services. So in order to access or in order to make sure this service is running, right? What do you need to have? You need to have at least basic minimum compute capacity. Correct?
Right.
Yep.
But you cannot make sure multiple versions of the same server running. How do you make sure multiple versions of the same server running?
Multiple version of same server.
So
Same service.
basically,
Yeah.
You
okay,
need
version of
multiple
the-
servers,
yeah, that should be in the multiple server.
correct? Multiple servers. Again, that should be a cluster. Then only it will behave like a single machine, right? Okay.
But
So
technically, it will be running in different machine, correct?
technically, it will be running in different machines. But if you want to make it a single machine, you have to create a cluster and run it, and then on top of that, you need to run again load balancer, LB. Okay, this will, I mean, we'll definitely come back and then discuss more about this. For now, I'll just disconnect and connect back since after 40 minutes, this will automatically get disconnected. I'll disconnect and then again, we'll connect back just in 1 minute.
All right.
Sindhu, hi. Thanks for joining. We'll again join in another 1 minute. You can disconnect and call me back. Join the link. Join the same link.